in Corral.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to beautiful downtown Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, all set, making the final arrangements for Super Bowl 53. Now just a few days away, where the two teams still standing, the Patriots and Rams, will face off for the Lombardi Trophy. We're glad to have you with us here in Centennial Park, our home away from home all week long as we get ready for the big game. I'm Wendy Nix. Adam Schefter is here. Booger McFarland joins us. Happy to have Booger. Ryan Clark and Teddy Bruschi. Here's the good news. If you're wondering about experience, we've got some. Everybody up here, well, almost everybody, has experience playing in these big games. We'll start with Ryan Clark, who played in a pair of Super Bowls during his 8-year tenure as a member of the Steelers.
Look at that
He
guy.
played in Super Bowl 43 and 45. How about that? RC and the Steel Curtain hoisted the Lombardi Trophy after winning Super Bowl 43 behind a thrilling late game-winning drive capped off by Big Ben throwing a touchdown pass to Santonio Holmes to beat the Arizona Cardinals. How about Booger? He's won a pair of Super Bowl rings. Despite missing the team's playoff run due to a broken foot, he was part of that 0-2 Bucks squad.
Get on there. Get on there.
That had an absolutely loaded
Put the stickle in his back.
Booger was traded in season in 06 to the Colts. He reunited with Tony Dungy and was a key piece during that team's Super Bowl run. And our anchor
Do we have
on
enough,
the end,
we have enough
linebacker
video.
Teddy Bruschi. We're going to be here a while. 5 Super Bowls.
I see you, baby.
His first appearance in the big game coming in Super Bowl 31 against a Brett Favre-led Packers squad. Teddy won 3, winning his first in 2001 behind a late game-winning field goal from Adam Vinatieri. And Adam Schefter may not have played in the big game. Nevertheless, he's covered the Super Bowl since 1995. Seen a thing or two and everything in between.
All
so
right.
a
Seen
crew.
all these guys Super Bowl wins.
Exactly. Every single one, Shefty's been there in one way or the other. Now, of course, let's talk about the two teams who will play on Sunday, those who've earned the right to be here after an outstanding regular season and a run in the playoffs. How about the Rams? They've gotten back to the Super Bowl for the first time since 2001 when Kurt Warner and the greatest show on turf fell to Brady and the Patriots. It's the Rams' 4th appearance in the big game. Sean McVay at 33, the youngest head coach ever to reach a Super Bowl. And then there's the element of inexperience. The Rams only have 4 players that have previously played in a Super Bowl. The Patriots have an impressive 36. We will turn now to Josina Anderson, who's embedded with the Rams this week. And according to his coaches, Josina, Ndamukong Suh is coming off 2 of his best games in these playoffs. What is Suh saying about his progression?
Well, even though Ndamukong Suh was Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2010 and a 5-time Pro Bowler within his previous 2 stops of Detroit and Miami, there still has been room to grow to better translate from his individual accolades to having championship success. And even though that has been most seen with his personal evolution with the Rams in the last 2 games, where he was the lead aggressor in helping to keep the Cowboys to a season-low rushing of 50 yards and having his most tackle for losses within his last 2 games by comparison to his previous 6. Suh told me today, Josina, what has been the difference in my 9th year is being continue to be open to still learning, whether it is he from Aaron Donald and Aaron Donald back to him.
I think just understanding how he likes to rush, being able to see some elite ways to do certain things, and then being able to mesh those things together to both be successful. So I'm not afraid by any means to learn from somebody else, whether they're younger or older than me.
In what ways has him being beside you augmented your game?
Just taking off pressure, you got to pick and choose where you're going to slide at times, and there's times that they slid it to him, and I got a lot of one-on-ones, and, nonstop, man, him communicating, being on the same page. After every play, we on the sideline talking, so that's one of the best things about playing with that guy, a guy that got the experience, a guy that had success, that, we feed off each other, we talk to each other, and trying to find ways to, free each other up so we can make plays. So.
And Wendy, Suh's desire to continue to learn has still played a part in his preparation this Sunday for the Patriots. He was telling me today that one of his close friends, Lawrence Jackson, has actually given him some film of Reggie White to better study, to kind of add to his pass rush moves. Even at this late date for the biggest game of his career, he said that will play a part depending on where he actually lines up for the game throughout the duration of Championship Sunday. Wendy, back to you.
Josina, thank you. On the other side of the field, of course, the New England Patriots, they are making their 9th Super Bowl appearance since 2001. That is 6 more than any team in that time span. New England is the third team to reach the Super Bowl in 3 straight seasons. The Dolphins did so 3 straight years from 71 to 73, and the Bills did it 4 straight from 1990 to 1993. And 41-year-old Tom Brady looks to become the oldest Super Bowl winning quarterback in history. Our Sal Paolantonio with more now on Brady and his team.
It's back to work day for the New England Patriots, the first practice of Super Bowl 53. A little while ago, they left the team hotel here, drove about 2 miles north of Georgia Tech University for about a 2-hour practice. Bill Belichick said here at the Super Bowl, they're going to be fine-tuning the defense. And I asked Jason McCourty for the one coaching point that the coaches have emphasized for the defense. He said, you have to be able to compete. Adjust and compete. There'll be things we haven't seen on film all year long that are going to be thrown at us at Super Bowl 53. Be willing to adjust and compete. Wendy?
Sal, thank you. When you look at these two teams, it is impossible for the experience of one team versus the lack of big stage experience on the other not to stand out. It just does. Teddy, does it matter? How much does Super Bowl experience play a part in what really happens on Sunday?
Well, you're talking about mentality of players. Are they able to, embrace the moment and not get overwhelmed by it? I just think that's the whole thing with Super Bowl experience. You can be emotionally spent by the time the game comes around because it's a long day and pregame festivities and you get so excited in those introductions that you let out a little exhale, and then now you got a game to play, So, but these players for the Rams, these players from the Patriots, Tom, there had to be a first Super Bowl for him.
Yeah.
You had to overcome those obstacles. I don't think it's going to be any problem for the Los Angeles Rams.
No, I agree with him. Both times I played in the Super Bowl, obviously the second time I had been there myself, but I played with so many players with the Pittsburgh Steelers who had been there 2 years previously, and we all felt the same. We all dealt with the week in the way that made us comfortable. The one thing I will say in my second Super Bowl, when we were down to the Green Bay Packers, I did lean on the fact that, I've been in this situation before, not a situation of being in a Super Bowl, just a situation of playing football, being down, and having to battle back with the men in your locker room. And I think those things, like Teddy spoke to, being able to overcome the moment is what's more important than actually being in this game before.
We all understand how to play football. Once the game kicks off, football is natural, but it's any and everything around the game. How do you prioritize your time pregame? When you come back off the field, now you have an extra 15 or 20 minutes. What about halftime? Halftime is a little longer. I found myself in the second Super Bowl with 30 or 40 minutes. I literally got undressed. I took my socks, my shoes off, and a retake.
A lot of time.
You had to start over mentally, because the one thing you don't want to do is to peak mentally too fast. You want to make sure that when that announcer says the New England Patriots or the Los Angeles Rams and you run out, you're ready to go at that point.
Yeah, and I'll say this. In the NFC Championship game at the beginning, for Jared Goff and Sean McVay, they looked a little overwhelmed.
Yeah.
They did. It took
that
atmosphere was different.
Here,
right.
Let me try a different helmet, those type of things. But they were able to grind and still get that win. So they're going to learn from that experience.
Absolutely.
Tom Brady has played the equivalent of 2.5 extra seasons of football in the postseason alone.
It's
so maybe
incredible.
all that experience will take an extra toll on his body and give the Rams some added hope.
He doesn't get
Sunday.
touched, though.
Hey,
That somebody
that's what
so
you're hoping
experienced.
for, but it doesn't
and what
seem
we
like
never
it.
see happen.
He's 44 in football
Right.
years.
Exactly.
Not
Right.
41.
There you
Probably
go.
older.
Well, speaking of which,
Teddy?
Brady and Belichick, how about this? A combined 50 years older than Jared Goff and Sean McVay. So take that for, I don't know if that's a plus or a minus, but it is what it is, as Bill Belichick would say. Still to come on NFL Live, 2 of the biggest and brightest young stars in the league will join us. Stay tuned. Baker Mayfield and Juju Smith-Schuster join us here on the set to talk about their seasons and what we believe to be their very bright NFL futures. Every team in the league represented on the Ferris wheel, by the way. Teddy counted all 32. He's here. You did, and you told me they are all there,
Nice
so I'm
job,
taking your
Teddy.
word for it. NFL Live back right after this.
And
As the Cowboys reeled off 24 unanswered points in the second half to win the Super Bowl for the second straight season, Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith, a huge day, 132 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. He was your Super Bowl MVP. And then there was this, the last time we were here, Super Bowl 34, the Rams and the Titans, and a whole lot of ice, a major ice storm. The game, largely a defensive battle in the first half. The Titans rallied back from a 16-0 deficit after Kurt Warner threw a go-ahead 73-yard touchdown with under 2 minutes to go. The Titans drove down to the Rams' 10-yard line, but on the final play, Rams linebacker Mike Jones tackled Titans wideout Kevin Dyson 1 yard short of the goal line. It prevented the touchdown and sealed the deal for the then St. Louis Rams. I'm just going to ask it like this, Ryan. Was that the best finish in Super Bowl history?
No, I think we all know what the best finish of Super Bowl history was. Antonio Holmes.
Oh,
No?
Yeah, we
We
all
don't
know
agree?
it.
No.
You know what? Really, the one I remember growing up was Super Bowl 23. Joe Montana leads a drive against the Cincinnati Bengals. It's finished by John Taylor on a slant in the corner of the end zone. That's the one growing up I always remembered, obviously, until Santonio Holmes and Ben Roethlisberger got me. I only got one, unlike these guys, but that was one of the greatest drives and greatest games I've ever been a part of.
Well, Mike Jones got me thinking defense, and that tackle.
Go figure.
I was at that game. I remember seeing that tackle, and the other defensive player that's just so fresh in my mind is the Malcolm Butler. The Malcolm Butler interception. I mean, the Seattle Seahawks are right there. I mean, this play right here, though, I mean, you talk about a linebacker's dream to be able to make that play, and they frame it the tackle now. I mean, that's a picture you'll never forget. I was in that end zone watching the game with my brother. I remember it till this day. What a great play. Malcolm, you know, that pick route, still being able to get through that was a play that you don't make that play even in the regular season. I mean, it's a pass breakup or something like that, but to end the game on an interception like that was memorable.
I think we all look at the very last play when we talk about finishes. What about Super Bowl 51? It's 28-3. The Falcons are up. I mean, Atlanta, they are planning to party already. And all of a sudden, slowly but surely, here come the Patriots. And then for the game to end on a touchdown, people storm the field, crowd goes crazy. I think that building to that crescendo on that last play, I like that.
I would agree.
Yeah.
You could pick any of the Patriots Super Bowls and call it the best finish in NFL history because they've all been close games.
Always close.
You had the Malcolm Butler game.
There's also like a million of them to pick from.
Yes.
There's
210 Super Bowls to choose from.
So take any one of them, and there's your best Super Bowl finish. Very simple.
It really is.
made a couple good kicks, too.
You think?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow. There's just so many. The Patriots have a chance to tie the Steelers, by the way, for the most Super Bowl wins of all time if they were to come away successful on Sunday. Baker Mayfield joining the show. He's up next. Stay with us.
When I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
You're watching NFL.